the race twice before, Bob Baffert, the sport's highest-profile trainer, was somehow overlooked 2 weeks ago in the Kentucky Derby. If it's possible to steal America's most famous horse race, then War Emblem is guilty as charged. And if it's possible to spend nearly $1 million on a thoroughbred and have that purchase look like a steal, then Ahmed bin Salman is the prince of thieves. We welcome you to Baltimore's Pimlico Racecourse for the 127th Preakness Stakes. It is, of course, the second jewel in horse racing's Triple Crown. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Costas. Now, today, in contrast to the Derby, nobody expects War Emblem to be loose on an uncontested lead. He's part of a field of 13, 9 of them newcomers who were not at the Derby, many of them speed horses meant to test War Emblem right out of the gate. But War Emblem is the betting favorite, just 2 weeks after he came out of nowhere to win the Kentucky Derby. All this just weeks after his 85-year-old owner, strapped for cash, sold him to a Saudi prince with cash to spare.
Finding a Kentucky Derby winner is like catching lightning in a bottle. But what if you had that lightning all along and didn't even know it? Today's Preakness could have been the story of an 85-year-old owner who thought this race, not the Derby, could help his financially strapped business. And a Midwestern trainer who, despite 30 years of experience, never had a shot at the big time. Until a thoroughbred made a name for himself on a small track in Illinois. That's the story that could have been if the horse had not been sold just 23 days before the Derby. Instead, it became the story of the most controversial and colorful trainer in thoroughbred racing, on the verge of staying home from the one race he most covets. Then a prince called from across an ocean and bought him that black colt for nearly $1 million.
And they're off in the Kentucky Derby. War Emblem leads the Derby. War Emblem is still there. He's pulling away. He's got another gear. War Emblem has won the Derby in tripling fashion.
The next chapter for Bob Baffert could be the Triple Crown, which eluded him twice before.
I'm going to get it this time.
Not if others can write their own story.
Today at Pimlico, Baffert is king. He's on top of the hill, and I want to beat him.
He did get away with a leisurely pace in the Derby because nobody respected him.
It's hard to take a 20-to-1 shot too seriously.
The last thing you want to do is underestimate the opposition.
We're going to put it to him right away.
They don't want to see a deja vu of the Derby all over again.
Did they buy the Derby? Well, they didn't get it for free.
I'm not interested in developing some historical legacy of some Triple Crown horse unless he's mine. To hell with that.
So how is this story with such a strange beginning destined to end?
That Triple Crown, I tell you what, I feel it.
Stakes barn at Pimlico, where most of the 13 Preakness horses are stabled, and everybody is set to come after Bob Baffert and his Kentucky Derby winner, War Emblem. Proud Citizen was second in the Derby. Now 5-time Preakness winner Wayne Lucas has his colt poised for a big race today. Bobby Frankel still looking for his first Triple Crown score, but nobody's seen his horse, Medaglia d'Oro, 4th in the Derby, but he just arrived at Pimlico very early this morning. Ken McPeak plans new tactics for the beaten Derby favorite, Harlan's Holiday. And there are new challengers like Booklet. Last year, John Ward was trying to win the Triple Crown with Monarchos. Now he's trying to prevent one. And so they've all come to Maryland, to historic Pimlico, the second oldest track in America, and full of character and Maryland flavor, from the crab cakes in the clubhouse to the grandstand betting windows where everyone's looking for that elusive winner, to the young local entrepreneurs who, for a fee, will cart your cooler to the infield. It's the third Saturday in May. It's Preakness Day in Baltimore. And Preakness Day is a chilly one. Lots of rain overnight and early this morning, but the track was sealed and is listed fast for the Preakness today. But as you see, the skies are overcast and the temperature at chilly, 56 degrees. But the important part is that track is fast. The Preakness, worth $1 million purse, 1 mile and 3/16. That's a 16th of a mile shorter than the Kentucky Derby. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pimlico's second jewel of the Visa Triple Crown. I'm Tom Hammond. You know, in the days leading up to the Kentucky Derby, when everyone mentioned War Emblem, the only way they would mention him would be to charge that Bob Baffert had bought his way into the Kentucky Derby. No one picked him to win. Very few thought that he would be anything but an early pace setter. But in the 2 weeks since the Derby, the more you analyze his race, the better it looks. Still, plenty of challengers today. Let's look at the odds. The betting already underway on the Preakness Stakes. And one of the newcomers, USS Tenosa at 11-1. Magic Wisner, local horse, 25-1. Straight Gin at 22 from Nick Zito. So is Crimson Hero at 14. Medaglia d'Oro at 4-1. He was the morning line favorite. Harlan's Holiday at 9-2. Easy from the get-go, 25-1. War Emblem, the Derby winner, 5-2. Table limit at 25-1. Booklet at 7-1. Menacing Dennis, an outsider, at 30. The Lucas horse, Proud Citizen, one of the two actually, 7-1. And Equality, a 30-1 long shot. Joined now by Charles C. Canty. And Charles C., all the talk leading up to the Preakness has been, we're going to go after War Emblem. No more easy leads like he had in Louisville. And if you're Victor Espinosa, who's riding the Derby winner, I guess the key word is relax.
Well, they certainly are in a vulnerable position with everybody gunning for him. And Bob Baffert has been understandably reluctant to change his running style. This is no time to do that. But he has been working on getting this colt to relax, and that's the key. How War Emblem gets from the starting gate around the first turn tells the tale. If he's tense and aggressive with horses around him and he's fighting Victor Espinosa, he's not going to make it all the way down the backside before he's finished. But if he leaves the gate, hits that nice smooth fluid stride, gets into what Baffert calls that high cruising gear, he can run really fast and still have plenty left for the stretch. But Tom, whoever runs up there to go head and head with him had better be tied on. War Emblem is for real.
Well, you're right. You see one of the earlier races, actually the race before the Preakness, starting right behind us. But just at the stakes barn outside War Emblem stall is Bob Newmeyer. Bob?
The two big words to think about today are pace and strategy. Heck, we all know that War Emblem likes to be on the lead. But we have new shooters today, most notably Booklet, sprinters like Menacing Dennis and Table Limit, and they like to run that way as well. And don't be surprised at all if Jerry Bailey sends Medaglia d'Oro out winging from the number 5 post to secure a nice cushy spot on the rail and challenge Baffert for the lead. But here's the rub. If you go and challenge War Emblem, you're running the risk of getting into a speed duel, compromising your chances. So then it's the ultimate cat and mouse game. Earlier this week, trainer John Ward said the first turn of this race will be like the Indy 500. So then, ladies and gentlemen, start your horses.
All right, Bob, and waiting the call to start their horses, the jockeys biding their time for the moment, watching the race in progress as they get ready for the big one still to come. Well, the mystery horse has been Medaglia d'Oro, just arriving at Pimlico very early this morning, and Mike Battaglia has been trying to track him down. Mike?
Well, you're right, Tom. Medaglia d'Oro arrived here at 4 o'clock this morning after a 4-hour van ride from Belmont Park. His trainer, Bobby Frankel, declined to talk on camera, but says this isn't a big deal. He does it all the time. And to underscore that, right before we went on the air, Bobby was on the phone with his assistant at Golden Gate in California. He had a filly in a $150,000 stakes race there that shipped from L.A. to San Francisco, an 8-hour van ride. Guess what? She shipped last night. She won easily. So Bobby Frankel knows what he's doing. The van ride, no ill effects on Medaglia d'Oro. Medaglia d'Oro ran 4th in the Kentucky Derby. Lafitte Pincay was the rider. Jerry Bailey is aboard today. Bobby said that Pincay is his West Coast rider. Bailey is his East Coast rider. It's as simple as that. The rider switch was no reflection at all on Pincay's ride in the Derby. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at the start of the Kentucky Derby, you'll see that the horse's head was turned. This was not Pincay's fault. The horse's head was turned. He breaks a little slowly. Then Private Emblem comes over, really knocks this horse just a bit off stride. He lost a lot of ground. This horse came from off the pace that day, had no position out of the gate. As we take a look at the field as they turn for home, there you see Medaglia d'Oro. He's making up a lot of ground. As a matter of fact, the horse that he's passing right now, number 14 there, that's Harlan's Holiday. Medaglia d'Oro actually out-finishes Harlan's Holiday to finish 4th in the Kentucky Derby. That was very encouraging to Bobby Frankel. Jerry Bailey aboard today. I would think that this horse is going to break a little bit sharper. Will he go to the front? Will he press the pace? We don't know that. It's up to Jerry Bailey. But let me tell you, Tom, with a clean start, this is a very dangerous horse today.
He's been the hot horse of the week. Everyone talking about Medaglia d'Oro. Well, if you'd like to join in the fun, log on to NBCSports.com and join the Cyber Cappers. Mike and Bob will be picking their horse a little later on. But so far, the Cyber Cappers, like the Derby winner, War Emblem to repeat. 22% of the vote. The last Derby winner to be favored in the Preakness and win, Ali Sheba in 1987. Bob Baffert hoping to win today with War Emblem, or maybe you want to call him Bobbling Bob. This bobblehead doll given away June 15th at Hollywood Park.
The 127th running of the Preakness Stakes is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. By Morgan Stanley, one passion, one mission, one principle, one client at a time. And by Chrysler, drive equals love.
This race brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL, and the only card accepted at the Olympic Games. And the Visa Triple Crown. Almost forgot. We're also the official card of NASCAR. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
You see an energy crisis crippling a city. We saw a chance to invest in a troubled utility, a bright idea that generated returns for our shareholders and power for the community. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
Tread lightly, son-in-law. There are more traps lying ahead than in the deep woods of Montana. One false step, and she'll have your head mounted on her parlor wall. That's the right idea. Keep light on your feet, and you just might emerge from this encounter in one piece. Good thing there's also a light way to live. The high life.
In today's real estate market, the Prudential Real Estate Network can get you moving. With over 42,000 sales professionals you can rely on, backed by a name trusted for more than a century. Find out why millions of people are sold on Prudential Real Estate.
I didn't know about today's purple pill called Nexium.
But I spoke to my doctor.
And now I do.
Call this number for more information and a Nexium free trial offer. Nexium, today's purple pill.
Do you know about it?
You see a countryside without phone lines. We saw a chance to invest in what became one of the world's leading wireless communications companies. A smart call for our shareholders. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
NBC Sunday, The Cosby Show special is here, and the critics are united.
I can't breathe.
They say it ranks as the best, so funny and sweet, you wind up wishing it were longer. USA Today gives it 3.5 stars, and TV Guide calls it a 10 out of 10. The Cosby Show, a look back. NBC Sunday, 9/8 Central.
Welcome back to Pimlico in the 127th running of the Preakness Stakes. Like the Kentucky Derby, the infield is party central on race day, and Kenny Rice survived Churchill Downs infield. Let's see how he's doing in the Preakness infield. Kenny?
Tom, it's actually two infields in one over here. In 1873 at the inaugural Preakness, some of the horse owners got together, brought family and friends over here to this section of the infield, put up picnic tables, and a tradition was born. This is the corporate village area, where corporations have spent over $100,000 to entertain about 5,000 guests. Now, the owners of the Preakness runners today got in free. Of course, they've already put up $20,000 to enter their horse. Now, there is another infield here about 50 yards away across the fence. In that infield, it cost only $35 to get in. And you can be a part of about 40,000 people there today. There is also a tradition over there as well. In the metro Baltimore area, there are 20 colleges. So this has become a post-final exam blowout time. So here in the infield today, many will be lifting their glasses. Most will be raising cans, though, to toast this year's Preakness winner. Tom?
All right, Kenny. I'm so disappointed, Charles. He stayed over in the safe part, in the corporate area.
He didn't get out there where it really gets pretty good and interesting, but there'll be no Triple Crown for Kenny Rice this year. There's no infield at Belmont, so this is his last hurrah.
Well, War Emblem continues to be the favorite off his 4-length win in the Kentucky Derby, and the story of War Emblem contains more than just a touch of controversy. Prince Ahmed Salman and Bob Baffert have fended off the charges that they bought themselves a Derby winner. Prince Ahmed, a member of the Saudi royal family, has had some uneasy moments. He has been educated in the United States, went to prep school and college here. He has a home in this country, very pro-American. But while Saudi Arabia and the U.S. are allies, it's a sometimes uneasy alliance in these times. And then there's the $1 million bonus that comes from winning the Illinois Derby and a Triple Crown race. That dispute between previous and current owners may wind up in court. It's a fascinating story.
Last year, Crown Steel lost $1,300,000. In the first 3 months of this year, we have lost $315,000. There's a limit to what I can lose. That's one of the reasons that I was willing to sell. If I didn't have these problems, I probably would not have sold the horse, period.
To see him go, yeah, it was hard. But Mr. Ryan and I discussed it, and it's a business. We knew at any time that it could be over for him. I mean, he had a little bitty chip in one ankle, and in the knee there was a question whether it could chip or not. It was a relief in a way, because every morning when I went to the racetrack, first thing I did was take his bandages off to see whether today was the day we were going to have to stop and do surgery. I don't think there's a lot more people in the business that would have bought him with the problems that he's got. But 2 or 3 weeks before the Derby, people get crazy. The Prince has the money to buy this kind of colt without looking at the x-rays and doing that kind of thing.
I talked to Bob about it, and I said, Bob, what is your thinking? Think we should sell him or keep him? He said, Russ, with a chip in the knee, I think it'd be wise to sell him. Why should I be mad? Because they won the Derby. I'm happy for Prince. Sure, it'd be nice if I owned them. On the other hand, if there's one race in the whole world, in my humble opinion, that's the greatest, it's the Kentucky Derby. And I'm happy to be part of it.
Oh, shoot, man, I forgot what it felt like. It's been too long. Okay, man, I forgot. Oh, man, thank you, buddy. You did it.
Thank you. Well, when we move quick, we move quick.
We did, didn't we? I flew into Lexington to see him like 2 days after he ran in the Illinois Derby. I looked at him. He looked good to me. You know, if he didn't have the bone chips or whatever, he probably would have cost like $5 million. You know what I mean? But, you know, it was like he had these problems, so it's like you're taking a chance.
There were a lot of people who had the opportunity to purchase War Emblem. I was one of them. We kind of ignored them for a few reasons, and the Prince and Baffert saw some things that we discounted, and they jumped in and bought them, and so I think they've done a heck of a job.
What was sweet about this thing is I was out. They counted me out, and then we buy this horse, And they were upset I bought the horse. You got a horse in the Derby now, at the last minute. If anybody else buys him, it's no big deal, but Bob Baffert, he just buying a ticket for the Derby, front row, you know, but look more like the 10th row. In this business, opinions die and records live on. And I am proof of that.
Here we go, boys.
And an interested observer of that story was Victor Espinoza, who took War Emblem in that wire-to-wire victory at Churchill Downs. We talked to the representatives of the Prince if he wanted to speak with us about that story, and he declined. He's superstitious. He said he'd do most of his talking in the winner's circle if he gets there again. Now the subject of horses running with chips in their ankles. I talked to Dr. Larry Bramblage, who is the respected veterinarian. He says it happens all the time. The key thing is location. If the chips are in a place where they don't bother the action of the joint, there's no problem at all. The horses run and don't even know they have those bone chips. They don't interfere at all, and it certainly, he said, is not inhumane to run them in that condition. And Charles said, I guess it's a fairly common occurrence as long as they're not in a place that interferes with the joint action. Saarland in the Derby had a chip, but it was right in the middle of the joint, so they had to operate and take it out.
And we might point out that every thoroughbred in this country, no matter what class of race it is, the Preakness or maiden claimer, every horse is subject to veterinary inspection before they leave their stable to come to the paddock to be saddled. So they must pass veterinary approval.
All right, Bob Baffert looking for another Preakness win. Every time he has won the Kentucky Derby, he's gone on to take the Preakness as well. We're back to Pimlico after this and a word from your local NBC station.
Chrysler 300M, the most powerful V6 sports sedan in its class. With its seductive styling and inspired engineering, it is truly a pleasure to drive. Even when that sort of thing is strictly forbidden.
Samuel, is that you?
Yes, it is I.
Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
It was not my dream to retire here. To the place where a couple first met.
I'm good, thanks. Au revoir.
Married. And always planned to return. But I embraced that dream with unwavering attention, and it became my own. And that's what I do at Morgan Stanley, one client at a time.
For 20 years, NBC Thursday has been must-see TV.
God help us!
This Monday, we're giving you all of it in one night.
Somebody pinch me.
Your favorite stars look back at 20 years of must-see TV.
I'm gonna blank in my shorts.
Monday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on NBC.
If you're the current owner of any 1995 or newer non-Ford Motor Company vehicle, we'll give you an extra $500 when you buy or lease a new Ford car or truck. There's no trade required, and you can even transfer the cash to another driver in your household. It's pretty simple, really. We want to get a new Ford in your driveway, and we'll give you an extra $500 to get it there. That's an extra $500 back. Only at your local Ford store.
You're bleeding awful lot in the back of your head. We got to figure out where it's coming from.
Controlled chaos. You're always checking and double checking what you're doing because it is a patient's life, you know, that's at stake.
If there's any evidence of any bullet fragments still in there or anything like that, okay?
Real people, real drama, Buffalo's real life ER. Monday at 11 on Channel 2 News. More ways to win. Watch the Mega Millions drawing every Tuesday and Friday night right before Channel 2 News at 11. Mega Millions at Channel 2. Feeling lucky?
The 240 horsepower Nissan Pathfinder.
Razi Karate, weeknights at 5 on Channel 2 News.
Now in its 15th year of providing aerial television coverage of sporting and special events, the MetLife blimp Snoopy 1 brings you aerial shots of all the action below. Be sure to look for Snoopy 1 and Snoopy 2 as they visit a town near you. Well, as we approach the 127th Preakness, let's update you on the odds. USS Tenosa getting some play at 10-1. Magic Wisner, a local favorite, 40-1. An outsider in the betting. Straight Gin at 23. Crimson Hero 13. Medalla d'Oro 3.5-1, 7-2. Harlan's Holiday is up to 5-1. Easy from the get-go, 21-1. War Emblem, the Derby winner, is at 3-1. Table Limit 20. Booklet 8-1. Menacing Dennis at 45. Proud Citizen 6-1. And Equality is 25-1. Well, you know that any time a legendary athlete passes from the scene, it's reason for reflection and for recalling fond memories of that athlete. And of course, when it's a charismatic equine athlete, the memories seem especially poignant.
The call to the post at the Derby usually signals a beginning. But this year, symbolically, an ending as well. Seattle Slew passed away exactly 25 years to the day after winning the Kentucky Derby. Thoroughbred racing is no longer just a sport for kings, and no horse epitomized this more than Seattle Slew. He cost just $17,500 as a yearling. His connections not part of the racing establishment. But his career on the track and at stud was the stuff of dreams. Slew would be the only undefeated winner of the Triple Crown, earning $1.2 million along the way. But that was but a prelude. He sired over 100 stakes winners, his runners earning over $76 million. Through the glory years and 2 painful spinal surgeries, Karen and Mickey Taylor's life revolved around the horse they loved, and they were with him until the very end. And now, for the first time since Sir Barton captured the Derby, Preakness, and Belmont in 1919, the world no longer has a living Triple Crown winner. Seattle Slew, gone at age 28.
One day I'm gonna have a family. I want to have a beautiful house.
One day, I will get old.
One day I'm gonna go to college.
How will I get ready for my one day?
When your one day comes, GE can help you be ready with a full range of financial products. Call a representative or 1-800-THINK-GE.
One day I'd like to be surprised, but be ready.
Invest, protect, retire with a name you trust. GE for life.
Some athletes don't care about endorsements. Some athletes don't care how many fans they have or what kind of shoes they wear. Some athletes don't even care if they're televised coast to coast. They just want to run.
The Visa Triple Crown takes a lot of heart, but at the ticket booth, the only card they take is Visa, the official card of the Visa Triple Crown.
I didn't know about today's
purple pill called Nexium.
But I spoke to my doctor.
And now I do.
Call this number for more information and a Nexium free trial offer. Nexium, today's purple pill.
Do you know about it?
In today's real estate market, the Prudential Real Estate Network can get you moving. With over 42,000 sales professionals you can rely on, backed by a name trusted for more than a century. Find out why millions of people are sold on Prudential Real Estate.
You cannot do it by yourself. You need to tap into the power of the club.
The new Chrysler Town & Country Touring Edition comes equipped with a rear seat DVD player and built-in cooler console. So now, going out isn't nearly as exciting as staying in.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Chrysler Town & Country, the ultimate minivan.
You need the power of the club.
Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
NBC Sunset, the show where everything goes wrong with your favorite stars. NBC's funniest outtakes. 8/7 Central Sunday.
Jennifer Capriati. At last year's French Open, her stunning comeback continued as she won her second straight Grand Slam. Will she be the toast of Paris again? The French Open, starting June 1st.
Welcome back to Pimlico. In the jockey's room moments ago, Chris McCarron trying to stay loose. He'll have the mount on long shot Crimson Hero today. And Tom Durkin is here to call the race, and he's already at work up in the press room. Tom?
So the winner of the Derby struts around Churchill Downs wire to wire, trained by a brash ex-quarter horse guy who broke the mold when it came to the proper way a trainer should conduct himself. And the owner? Definitely rich, and definitely not part of the clubby and she racing establishment. So what's to do when we come around to the Preakness to avoid another possible wire-to-wire waltz? Pat Day will take his mount right from the gate, right from the start, right after the Derby winner. And that's exactly what happened in 1988. Rewind to Winning Colors, who ran virtually unopposed wire-to-wire in the Derby, trained by a brash ex-quarter horse guy named Dwayne Lucas and owned by the nouveau riche Eugene Klein. Day rides 49er for the Old Line Claiborne Farm and that hard boot of all hard boot trainers, Woody Stevens. Roll the tape. They break next to each other. On the inside of Winning Colors, that gray filly, is 49er and Pat Day, and he guns 49er right to the lead. They hit the first turn. Day does not go to the rail. Instead, he will float Winning Colors wide, losing valuable ground. Both of them. They go into the backstretch, and one individual counted 8 bumps between them. A rough and tumble Preakness it was. They arrive at the top of the stretch. 49er is spent on the rail, and a wary Winning Colors, leg where he goes to the inside. In the meantime, Risen Star has gone on to take the lead. Winning Colors will trudge home third. Risen Star, the winner, as he moved through on the inside of them on the far turn. So, we fast forward to today's Preakness. Does Pat Day return to his role of the spoiler with the fleet-footed booklet? And oh, what delicious irony it would be. Would Table Limit take after War Emblem? Table Limit, trained by one brash ex-quarter horse guy, now very established thoroughbred trainer Dwayne Lucas. Table Limit, ridden by Gary Stevens, who was aboard the victimized Winning Colors 14 Preaknesses ago. Tom.
And Tom, wouldn't you know it, they are side by side in the gate. Table Limit in post position 9, just to his inside, War Emblem in post 8. Well, the man who was right in the middle of that 88 race and figures to be a pace factor today aboard booklet is Pat Day, and he's with Bob Costas.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. That Tom Durkin tells a story with relish. Pat Day and I were listening to it, so I guess the question becomes, Pat, are you here first and foremost to win the Preakness or to make sure that War Emblem doesn't?
No, we're here to win the race. Contrary to popular belief, in the Derby with 49er, there was a question about him getting a mile and a quarter. Winning Colors ran the turn very well. She got away from the end of the first turn. I thought it was suicidal to go after her at that time. We made a race of it off the turn, and I came up a little bit short. We came back in the Preakness 16th of a mile shorter, and just thought it was, you know, especially since we'd drawn to the inside of her. 49er had good gate speed. We thought we'd just take it to her early. The inside of the track was playing horrible that day. Everybody was winning out in the middle of the racetrack. We broke alertly, put him on the lead, and held our position, and then folded in the drive. But we weren't there that day. It wasn't just to beat Winning Colors, and today it's certainly not just to beat War Emblem. We're here to get the money.
Today it should be a mad dash to the first turn. Are you absolutely committed to the lead?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a very quick horse. You know, everybody's speculated about what will happen. God only knows how the race is going to unfold moments away from the gate. I know that this is a very quick horse. I think in order to get a mile and 3/16, I can't put him to the task early and expect to finish. So I'm hopeful that he'll come away from there nice and clean, straight. I hope everybody gets a good clean break away from there. And ideally, it would probably serve my purpose if everybody took back and let me have the lead uncontested, as they did War Emblem in the Derby. I don't think that will happen. And so what happens in the first eighth of a mile is going to be crucial. How my horse is responding to me and for me is going to be ultra important with regards to me getting a mile and 3/16 here today.
You were scheduled to ride Buddha in the Derby, then he was scratched. Buddha, a speed horse. If you had been aboard Buddha, would you have let War Emblem get away as he did?
Well, I would like to think not. You know, certainly you never know. I know that Medaglia d'Oro did not end up where he was because of the rider's choice. By the same token, had Buddha been in there, if I guess that's the biggest word in the English language right now, if he'd have been in the race, had we, you know, would we have allowed that to happen? I would dare say no, but God only knows for sure how that would have played out also.
Pat, good luck today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Pat Day is aboard Booklet. It would take much more than a booklet, as you know, Tom, to list all of his victories dating back to '73, more than 8,000 of them. Today, with his 16th mount at the Preakness, he breaks the record of the master Eddie Arcaro, and if he wins, it's his 6th Preakness victory, and that would tie Arcaro's mark. Tom?
All right, Bob, and there is John Ward, who trains Pat Day's mount, Booklet, and he has identified Pat as a key player. Getting his horse, Booklet, who has natural speed, to relax would be key to his chances in the Preakness today. Trainers are there in the stakes barn. There's Bob Baffert, Nick Zito. They're getting the horses ready. When we come back to Pimlico, they'll start the walkover.
The 127th running of the Preakness Stakes is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown.
Welcome to the Preakness Stakes, the second jewel of the Visa Triple Crown. This year, Visa and the racing community will be reflecting upon Seattle Slew's remarkable career. Slew had been an inspiration to thoroughbred racing fans all over the country, and we'll miss him very much. Today, a new field of contenders competes for their place in history, and we wish them the best of luck. Thank you, and enjoy the race.
For 20 years, NBC Thursday has been must-see TV. God help us! This Monday, we're giving you all of it in one night.
Somebody pitch me.
Your favorite stars look back at 20 years of must-see TV.
I'm gonna blank in my shorts.
Monday, 9:30, 8:30 Central on NBC.
The best I ever had.
Need a cure for the common car? Take one of these, the totally new Nissan Altima. Just ask Kiplinger's Personal Finance. Or just ask Car and Driver. Better yet, read the label. The new Nissan Altima, named North American Car of the Year. Get over to your Nissan dealer and check out the new Nissan Altima. The cure for the common car. Nicely equipped at only $18,999. Nissan. Ribbon.
The Ford F-150 has an amazing appetite for power. Which gives it more available torque than Chevy, Dodge, or Toyota.
Cadillac DeVille with the Northstar V8 standard. Overpower road challenges, large and small. Cadillac. Breakthrough. Visit your Western New York Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Channel 2 News, Kevin O'Connell on your side.
And the Preakness horses have been summoned from the stakes barn, making their way over to be saddled. Number 4 Crimson Hero you see there in your picture. And the jockeys must weigh out Pat Day with his tack. 126 pounds says the scale. That's correct. They put lead in the saddle pad to make up the difference, to make him weigh 126. And awaiting his Derby winner, Prince Ahmed Salman, who heads the Thoroughbred Corporation, the owner of War Emblem. Let's check the odds update for you now. USS Tenosa at 10-1. Straight Gin, Nick Zito trained 24-1, as his Crimson Hero at 13. Medaglia d'Oro 7-2. Harlan's Holiday was the 6-1 favorite in the Derby. He's 5-1 today, despite the fact he finished 7th at Churchill Downs. War Emblem, the favorite at 3-1. Booklet at 8-1, and Proud Citizen, who was 2nd in the Derby, is 6-1. Let's go to Donna Brothers now. She's with John Ward. Donna?
Yeah, John, you have said that Booklet will have the ability to control the pace if that's what Pat Day wants to do. Does that mean it's Pat's decision?
Totally Pat's decision. I think you all had an interview with him earlier, and I don't know what you all told him, but I told him to just say it was his game, do it how he wanted to do it, and I know he'd do it in a first-class way.
Well, this horse has not shown that he can win past a mile and an eighth yet. Are you worried about the mile and 3/16 distance, and is that why you picked Pat Day to ride him?
Well, that's what Pat Day is supposed to do, is try to get him go a little further. And, you know, a mile and an eighth, mile and 3/16 really isn't that far. It's just a matter of the competition you're against. We're against the best today, so hopefully Pat can get the job done.
All right, John, good luck to you. Tom, back to you.
All right, Donna. John Ward, of course, had Monarchos here, the Derby winner last year. But this man, Bob Baffert, beat him with point given. Bob Baffert walks over to saddle War Emblem, and Mike is with him. Mike?
Thanks, Tom. And Bob, War Emblem was a little bit overlooked in the Kentucky Derby. You got an uncontested lead. You don't think that's going to happen today? You think they're out there gunning for you today?
Well, it's a little bit too late for them. You know, they let us win that one. But, I mean, today I think everybody's trying to psych each other out, trying to figure out who's going to do. Somebody wants to go with me to help the other guys out, so I don't know who that's going to be.
You told Victor Espinoza, you gave him explicit instructions before the Kentucky Derby. What are you going to tell him today?
Make sure that, you know, ride his own race. He's on his own. And don't cut any horses off because Charles will claim foul on him immediately.
This horse, you don't cut Charlesy a break. This horse really seems to be improving. Have you seen improvement between the Derby and the Preakness?
I think he's staying the same. He's relaxing more, and he's going to have to learn to relax eventually because, you know, somebody's going to take him on eventually. I hope it's not today. But we'll see today what he does.
If they do get out there and run with him early, can he rate?
We don't know yet. Victor, I left it up to him. I said, if you keep from rating him, you know, don't rate him. Just keep him out of trouble. He's the best horse in the race, you know. Don't get him in a jam where you have to take him and get him out of the gate. That's the most important thing.
Who's the one you're most scared of?
I would say the Frankel horse. He's a good horse. He's got Bailey. He's going to go to the rail. He'll probably try to beat us to the rail. So that's the horse to beat.
Thank you. Good luck, Bob. Tom?
All right, Mike. Bob has been taking jabs at Charlesy for Derby comment about Eddie Delahousie and Perfect Drift. And you equal time, Charlesy. A quick comment on that?
Well, I just want Bob to know that I'm so totally flattered that it really matters to him what I said. So I'm honored.
As Bob continues over, let's go to Bob Newmeyer.
Well, the big three Triple Crown trainers of the last 10 years, Baffert, Lucas, and this man, Nick Zito. And Nick, Wayne and Bob are the forgotten guys in the Derby. Are you the forgotten guy here in the Preakness?
No, I hope so. I hope so. I hope they're right. Put it that way, Bobby. That'd be nice to be back in the game again. And, you know, those guys have got a lot of attention, rightfully so, with the Derby. I think our two horses are credible enough to do well, and that'd be nice. But that was pretty good back there.
Straight Gin is one of those horses. Crimson Hero's the other. You think it's going to be wild up front early. Is your best shot Crimson Hero off the pace?
Well, I think Straight Gin is improving all the time, and I think he'd probably get a good spot. Crimson Hero has to come from way back. That's his style. But I think it's going to be wild up front. I mean, you know, what they're talking about, you know, you never know in racing, but it should be a lot faster than it has been.
And I think win, lose, or draw, being a New Yorker, we'll see it for the Belmont, huh?
That'd be great. Yep, that's the way to do it.
Nick Zito, very much the forgotten man here at the Preakness, would like to spring an upset. Tom?
All right, Bob. Interesting to note that Wayne Lucas, who has saddled 5 Preakness winners, second all-time to R.W. Walden, who was in the 19th century. He has 2 horses in the race, does Lucas, and he skipped the walkover, went right to the paddock, where he will saddle Table Limit and Proud Citizen. Well, the 3 jockeys that had Maryland ties, a little reminiscing. Kent DeSormo, Edgar Prado, Chris McCarron. They were all leading riders in Maryland before they made their reputations elsewhere. They started here in Maryland, came to national prominence, and now based in California, in the case of DeSormo and McCarron, and Prado in New York. And Mario Pino is the current leading rider at Pimlico. He'll be aboard the long shot Menacing Dennis. There's Mario. He's been riding for 21 years, only his second Preakness mount. He was on Escambia Bay, who finished 7th back in 1981. Tuned up for today, though, by riding 6 winners here at Pimlico just 1 week ago. Bob Baffert leading the charge as the horses come onto the turf course, where most of them will be saddled. We'll be back.
Imagine what you would do with an extra $100 a day. Well, if you sign for your purchases whenever you use your Visa check card, you could turn fantasy into reality. Because each time you sign, you'll be entered to win $100 a day for a whole year. Imagine that. The Visa check card. It's everywhere you want to be.
Get behind the wheel. It's a Sealy. What a car, huh?
This is why we don't make cars.
but we do make the mattress more people sleep on than any other. It's made for sleep. It's a Sealy.
I'm always thinking something terrible is going to happen. I can't handle it.
You know, your worst fears, the what ifs, and I can't control it, and I'm always worrying about everything.
It's like a tape in my mind. It just goes over and over and over. I just thought that I was a worrier.
It's like I never get a chance to relax. At work, I'm tense about stuff at home. At home, I'm tense about stuff at work.
If you're one of the millions of people who live with uncontrollable worry, anxiety, and several of these symptoms for 6 months or more, you could be suffering from generalized anxiety disorder, and a chemical imbalance could be to blame. Paxil works to correct this imbalance to relieve anxiety. Prescription Paxil is not for everyone. Tell your doctor what medicines you're taking. People taking MAOIs or thiaridazine should not take Paxil. Side effects may include decreased appetite, dry mouth, sweating, nausea, constipation, sexual side effects, tremor, fatigue, or sleepiness. Paxil is non-habit forming.
I'm not bogged down by worry anymore. I feel like me again. I feel like myself.
Tiger Woods, the most dominant force in golf. He's already won all 4 major championships in a row. Now he tries to pull off that amazing feat in the same calendar year. His next challenge, golf's greatest championship, the U.S. Open, starting Thursday, June 13th on NBC.
Susans are the official state flower of Maryland, and the official leading personality in Maryland today is Bob Baffert. He's been leading cheers, interacting with the crowd as he makes his way over to saddle War Emblem. You know, at the Kentucky Derby, uncharacteristically, he skipped the walkover. Just met War Emblem in the paddock. He's basking in the glow of the fans today. Let's check the odds right now. Last time we checked, War Emblem was the 3-1 favorite. USS Tenosa at 10. Crimson Hero 13-1. Medaglia d'Oro 3-1 second choice. Harlan's Holiday at 5-1. War Emblem 5-2 now. It's gone down a half tick. Booklet is at 8-1, and Proud Citizen is 7-1. War Emblem is usually pretty aggressive and a bit of a problem. He likes to bite, and he'll kick and act up. Baffert has done a couple of things with his equipment. There he is. Just to change things, Baffert went to a tongue tie to keep him from getting his tongue over the bit and costing some control, and also went to a ring bit, which gives the jockey a little more control than the standard D bit. And War Emblem has been somewhat of a problem. As Baffert said, I wouldn't turn my back on him.
Well, he says he's a tough son of a gun, but as you watch him walking up the racetrack there, he's as placid and laid back as he can be, but he will saddle inside where it's a little more comforting to a horse. It's enclosed, although this paddock here at Pimlico tends to be a little bit of a fishbowl. Noise reverberates, but at least they can confine them in a stall, whereas out on the turf course, they're sort of wide open on the turf. There you see the individual stalls, and they're more like at other racetracks.
So they're just now making their way in. This is the indoor paddock, which they normally use for the races at Pimlico. The jockeys making their way down from the jockeys room, which is just behind us actually, and they go down the steps to either go out onto the turf course for some of the horses for the Preakness are saddled, or into the indoor area. And waiting for Victor Espinoza, who is the man of the moment. Espinoza second on the Nick Zito trained AP Valentine here at the Preakness last year. Jerry Bailey walking by. There's Pat Day, and Espinoza winning the Derby in his second try. Mike Smith leading the guys out, and Richard Mulhall, who is the general manager of the Thoroughbred Corporation, and Prince Ahmed under the War Emblem sign out on the turf course in front of the stands here at Pimlico, where the fans can watch them be saddled. Baffert and Lucas, by the way, have won 6 of the last 8 runnings of the Preakness, so the fans' attention obviously turns to Baffert and Lucas.
Where were you guys for the Derby?
Well, it was 23 years ago when a locally owned colt came to the Preakness and equaled the record as the lowest price favorite in history, 10 cents on the dollar. Spectacular bid is the subject of our Chrysler Triple Crown moment. The big Gray had Maryland connections, owned by the Meyerhoff's Hawksworth Farm, trained by Bud Delp, who was elected to the Hall of Fame this year, and ridden by 19-year-old Ronnie Franklin. After winning the Derby, only 4 others challenged bid in the Preakness, and he cruised home by 5.5 lengths. His Triple Crown bid ended at Belmont Park, but the legend remains. Now 26, the Gray has turned to white as he lives at Milford Farm in New York.
It was not my dream to realize this day. The day a father watched his daughter start at Juilliard. But I embraced that dream with unwavering attention and made it my own, because that was the dream of my client. And that's what I do at Morgan Stanley, one client at a time.
I've always had the will to win. It's what drives me to do more. And when it comes to your health, you can do more. A medicine called Altace can help. I take it for high blood pressure, but it may also help you in a different, important way. If you're 55 or older and have had a heart attack or stroke or have diabetes, plus another risk factor, you can do more.
When added to existing medications, Altace was clinically proven to further reduce the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cardiovascular death. Prescription Altace is not for everyone. Altace may cause swelling of the mouth, tongue, or throat, which could cause extremely serious risk and requires immediate medical care. Common side effects include persistent dry cough, dizziness, and lightheadedness due to low blood pressure. Do not take Altace during pregnancy, as death or injury to your unborn child may result, or if you've experienced serious side effects related to previous ACE inhibitors.
You can do more. Go ahead. Ask your doctor about Altace.
So, Dan, do we have everything we need for this meeting?
It's all right here, sir.
Is your data backup as reliable as it should be?
Don't worry, sir. He told me everything.
Ours is. Bright Store Storage Software from Computer Associates.
We're back at Pimlico. Jerry Bailey being greeted. He rides Medaglia d'Oro for the first time today. And he has been a horse that has drawn much attention during the week and his second choice in the betting. Meanwhile, Prince Ahmed Salman giving instructions along with Richard Mulhall to Victor Espinosa, who once again will be riding War Emblem. But he's saying, go to the front and win like you did at Churchill Downs. The Prince takes an active role in deciding how each race should be won, we might add. There's War Emblem being saddled inside by Bob Baffert, the 5-2 favorite. Well, how do our handicappers view the race? Let's find out. Let's go to Bob and Mike.
Well, just like the Kentucky Derby, I believe there are a number of intriguing scenarios for this Preakness Stakes.
Tom, totally unlike the Kentucky Derby. I thought 8 horses could win the Derby. I think there's only 2 possible winners here. That's Medaglia d'Oro and War Emblem.
War Emblem, because the fact that now all of a sudden he's tackling all this kind of speed, he's not going to get the kind of cushy lead, Mike, that he had in the Kentucky Derby. And we're going to analyze the pace of this race, and you'll soon see that the early part of this race is not just about War Emblem. It's about horses like Booklet. It's about Medaglia d'Oro.
They've all got early speed, but you know what? War Emblem doesn't really need to be in front. He learned to relax. I think the only horse there that's a serious challenger is Medaglia d'Oro. Proud Citizen, I think, is stuck too far outside.
And as far as the mid-pack horses are concerned, well, they're led by Harlan's Holiday, and he has a nice, cozy post in the 6th hole. He's going to follow Medaglia d'Oro into the first turn. This is an ideal setup for his pace pressing tactics. Is he good enough?
I think he could be good enough if he gets a perfect trip. I don't think he will.
We really only have one closer in the race, Mike, and we talked to Nick Zito about him, and that is Crimson Hero, and he needs a lot of things to happen for him to be in the mix today. But you think it's all about the Derby winner?
You know what? This horse really impressed me. War Emblem not only won the Derby, he won it convincingly. This horse has improved. He just keeps getting better. Look at where he is at the quarter pole, turning for home in the Kentucky Derby. A length, maybe a length and a half in front. He explodes. He runs the final quarter mile in 24 2/5 seconds. In the last 30 years, there's only one horse that's run that final quarter of a mile in the Derby faster, and that was the Great Secretariat. Look at the way this horse draws off. Yes, he got the half in 47. 47 is not a slow fraction. I think it'll go 46 and change today.
They let him go, Mike. If the riders, act that way in this race, they should be put under house arrest.
Let him try to go with him. Let him try to go with him. This horse can finish. This horse has improved so much since moving to Bob Baffert's barn. He just keeps getting better.
You know, your wire-to-wire scenario here, I admit, it's one of my four, but a very slim one indeed, and that is the wire-to-wire War Emblem repeat of the Kentucky Derby. But I think Medaglia d'Oro might prove he's just the best horse today. Harlan's Holiday, new tactics. More aggressive early on. His rider Prado has won 14 titles. Knows every grain of sand here at Pimlico. And finally, if this thing completely falls apart,
keep going. You got how many scenarios you want to give us? Pick a horse.
I'm giving you four.
Pick a horse.
Door number 3, Monty Hall, will be Harlan's Holiday.
Harlan's Holiday.
He'll make up for the fact that he lost the Derby and joined the likes of Snow Chief and Point Given and Timber Country. All those horses that failed in the Derby as favorites.
War Emblem will romp in the Preakness. Medaglia d'Oro second. Proud Citizen third.
Mike, you're 2 weeks too late.
All right, guys, enough. Settle down out there. Look at this. I don't know if they were laughing at the picks or not. I think they might have been laughing at Bob and Mike's picks. Well, not at War Emblem. They hope to either win again. The Prince and Victor Espinoza. The 127th Preakness, the horses being saddled as post time approaches in Baltimore.
You've just been patient.
The 127th running of the Preakness Stakes is brought to you by Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. By Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By GE Financial, invest, protect, retire with a name you trust. GE, call 1-800-THINK-GE. And by Sealy. It's made for sleep, it's a Sealy.
We're the only brewer that actually tells the consumer exactly when our beer was made. What has always made Budweiser special is our commitment to quality and our dedication to freshness. You can see how fresh the Budweiser is by looking at the label, looking at the born on date. It's very, very important that that beer gets to you in its freshest form. A beer to be enjoyed with friends from start to finish.
The extremely versatile Chrysler PT Cruiser. There's a lot to love. Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
Nice rug.
Thanks, I just got it. It's a Sealy. And
This is why we don't make rugs. But we do make the mattress more people sleep on than any other. It's made for sleep. It's a Sealy.
Visa celebrates a Triple Crown moment.
Every jockey had his favorite. For me, it was Seattle Slew. When you asked him for it, he gave you all he had. And when you asked for more, he always found something. Was he the greatest? Who can say? But I'll tell you one thing about the Slew. He sure could run.
Visa celebrates the 25th anniversary of Seattle Slew's Triple Crown victory. To see who makes history this year, bring your Visa card, the only card that can get you into the 2002 Visa Triple Crown.
What happens in Washington has a major impact on the stocks that I follow.
Deficits are back. We have a wartime economy on our hands. It's very important to have some sense about how Washington will ultimately act on these issues. That's why you want to tap into Washington sources. Not a day goes by when I'm not on the phone with one of the Prudential analysts up in New York.
I'm able to make better investment research calls because of Prudential's team of experts in Washington.
When you marry Washington with Wall Street, it really adds value for investors.
Pimlico and the Preakness, and a reminder coming up next, the eagerly anticipated Western Conference Finals begin. NBA action, the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq against Chris Webber and the Sacramento Kings. Game 1 from Sacramento coming up next here on NBC. Horses there on the turf course being saddled, and there's the order for riders up. The bugler will give the call to the post in just a moment. USS Tenosa at 10-1. Magic Wisner a 40-1 long shot. 25 on the two Zito horses, 25 and 13. Medaglia d'Oro now at 3-1. 5-1 Harlan's Holiday, easy from the get-go at 22. War Emblem 5-2 favorite. Table limit at 22-1. That's one of the Lucas trainees. Booklet at 9-1. Menacing Dennis a long shot. Proud Citizen, the Lucas horse that was second in the Derby, at 7-1. Victor Espinosa waiting for a leg up as the call to the post. And then the singing of Maryland, My Maryland.
Ladies and gentlemen, now assembled in the infield winner's circle is Mr. Monty Maxwell, leading the U.S. Naval Academy Men's Glee Club in the singing of Maryland, My Maryland.
Shall never rust. Maryland, my Maryland, remember Carroll's sacred trust. Remember Howard's warlike thrust, and all thy slumbers with the just. Maryland, my
The traditional singing of Maryland, My Maryland heralds the entry onto the track of the horses for the 127th Preakness. Number 1 USS Tenosa, named for a World War II submarine, and the first Triple Crown starter for Northern California-based Jerry Hollendorfer. He was 5th in the Santa Anita Derby. Number 2 Magic Wisner. This is the home team. Nancy Alberts bred the horse in Maryland. She also trains him and owns him, and for a while exercised him in the mornings before she broke her shoulder. He was second in the Tessio Stakes, had won 5 in a row before that. The 3 horses straight, Gin by Go for Gin, whom Nick Zito trained to win the Kentucky Derby, was second in the Preakness in the colors of the Mary Lou Whitney stables, ridden by Robbie Alvarado, 4th in the Bluegrass Stakes. 4 Crimson Hero, another Zito trainee and a half-brother to Albert the Great, who was also owned by Tracy Farmer and trained by Nick Zito in the Coolmore Lexington, second to Proud Citizen. The 5 horses, Medaglia d'Oro, gold medal in Italian. It's a brand of espresso coffee. Bobby Frankel, second in his only other Preakness with Native Guest, 7th in 1975. I said second, it was 7th. And Edmund Gann, the owner. Jerry Bailey, the rider change, is aboard. Harlan's Holiday, who is the 6-1 favorite in the Kentucky Derby, is back for the Preakness. Ken McPeak, the trainer, plans to have him closer to the pace today. Edgar Prado, who at one time dominated Maryland racing, is up. The 7 easy from the get-go from Steve Asmussen. His owners also owned Private Emblem, 14th in the Derby. Donnie Mesh is aboard in the Coolmore Lexington, 3rd behind Proud Citizen and Crimson Hero. 8 is War Emblem, the Derby winner. Bob Baffert, the Thoroughbred Corporation, and Victor Espinosa trying to recapture the magic they had in Louisville. War Emblem has not been headed at any time in his last 3 races. The 9-horse Table Limit, trained by Wayne Lucas, 5-time winner of the Preakness Stakes at Keeneland. In an allowance race, he won by 8. He won by 4 lengths at Keeneland before that. Gary Stevens is aboard his first stakes race. Table Limit. The 10 horses booklet, expected to show that early speed, had a real battle going with Harlan's Holiday in Florida during the winter. His last 2 starts, 4th in the Florida Derby, 2nd in the Bluegrass. Pat Day looking for his 6th Preakness victory. Menacing Dennis is the 11 horse, named for Dennis Narlinger, where the owner, Jeff Bondi, has his first Preakness starter. Mario Pino is aboard, has some speed. 2nd in the Snow Chief, his last start, the lightest race in the field. Proud Citizen is the 12th, 2nd in the Derby for D. Wayne Lucas. He's been somewhat of a race behind. He's just had 3 starts this year, and he figures to improve off his Derby. And 13 is Equality. Graham Motion trains this one. He was 2nd with Bay Eagle. or his second Preakness. Bay Eagle was 8th for him last year. Ramon Dominguez, Maryland-based, rides him at Gulfstream Park. He last ran April 6th, was 2nd in the Aventura Stakes. So 13 horses in the Preakness going 1 mile and 3/16 for the purse of $1 million. And the favorite continues to be the Bob Baffert trained Kentucky Derby winner War Emblem at 5-2.
The cars from Chrysler. Exhilarating performance. Incredible engineering. And of course, eye-catching designs. Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
We did great. We did great.
No, you're right. We did do great.
We're in really good shape.
Are those the guys who went in after us?
Yeah. I wonder how they did. They've got Michelob Light.
I've been playing hoops and my shoulder keeps popping. You get that?
No.
Nothing? You say you gonna go up like that?
Yeah, layups.
There's your answer.
Oh, no.
The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
We want to live in our home,
not a nursing home.
We want our children to care about us,
not for us.
I want to grow old gracefully.
With dignity.
All good intentions, but help make them a reality with long-term care insurance from GE. GE gives you options, like care in your own home, to help preserve your independence and life savings.
I want my grandchildren to inherit more.
More than just memories.
For long-term care insurance, think of GE.
The romance, the beauty, the world of Ralph Lauren. Polo.com.
Some athletes don't care about endorsements. Some athletes don't care how many fans they have, or what kind of shoes they wear. Some athletes don't even care if they're televised coast to coast. They just want to run. The Visa Triple Crown takes a lot of heart, but at the ticket booth, the only card they take is Visa, the official card of the Visa Triple Crown.
It rained overnight and then again this morning. When we came on the air about an hour ago, it was very raw and overcast, but now the clouds have burned off. The sun is shining brightly as we anticipate the running of the 127th Preakness Stakes. And before it gets underway, here's another interesting note to consider. War Emblem was Bob Baffert's 3rd Kentucky Derby winner. The first two, Silver Charm in '97 and Real Quiet in '98, each went on to win the Preakness.
This is the story of 4 men. 2 who were left in Chicago while their dream left for Kentucky. And 2 others who took $1 million gamble on a long shot and hit racing's biggest jackpot. Today at Pimlico, another dream may live. A dream to become a legend. Only 11 horses have won the Triple Crown. Names that resonate through thoroughbred history. Citation, Secretariat, Seattle Slew, Affirmed. These names are synonymous with greatness. And today, a long shot colt who made his reputation in Illinois will try and show that he belongs. 4 men, 1 dream. Only 1 horse still has a chance. The Preakness, just moments away. And with the race just moments away, the odds update. USS Tenosa, a live long shot at 10-1. Long odds on the Zito horses. Medaglia d'Oro still getting play at 3. Harlan's Holiday at 5. War Emblem 5-2 favorite. Booklet at 9-1, and Proud Citizen, trained by Wayne Lucas, is 7-1. And let's go to Mike Battaglia.
Thanks, Tom. And Wayne Lucas has won 5 Preaknesses already. For every one of those Preaknesses, he's watched from right here in this same spot. Wayne, after 5, do you still feel that excitement?
Oh yeah, when they get to the gate, Mike, it's a tension. The horses are going to pick up on it. The riders are going to pick up on it. The infield crowd will really pick up on it.
You've said that Proud Citizen may have been a race away from his best all year. From the Derby to the Preakness, how much improvement has this horse shown?
Well, I think he's shown a lot. We're going to know here in about 5 minutes how much. But we feel like with a 1/16 of a mile shorter race today, that one under our belt, meaning the Kentucky Derby, we'll be a little bit more effective. We'll be able to have a few more options. We might be able to pressure him a little bit more if there is a legitimate pace. There's some things we can do that we couldn't do in the Derby.
Now, a lot of people think that your other horse, Table Limit, might be one of those horses that presses. Will he be?
No, we have no intention of having him up there. He is naturally a fairly quick horse. I would expect him to be in the top half of the field, but I don't think he will be up there pressuring anybody.
Good luck, Wayne.
Thank you.
Tom?
All right, Mike, and Bobby Frankel, of course, who trains Medaglia d'Oro, the second choice, has had fantastic years the last 2 years, including last year, but has never had that Triple Crown winner. Well, you hear always that Pimlico is a speed favoring track with tight turns, bank turns. We sent Donner Brothers off in search of the answer to that. Donna, what'd you find out?
Well, I'm thoroughly confused at this point, Tom. I went to the jocks room. I asked 3 riders. 2 of the riders told me the turns at Pimlico are more banked than the ones at Churchill. 1 of the riders told me the ones at Churchill are more banked. So there you have it, a very definitive answer from the jocks room. I can tell you from looking at the racetrack, they both look like they're banked equally. We know the distance is the same, but definitely the track at Pimlico is more narrow. So certainly it might lead to the perception that the turns are tighter and you don't want to lose ground. Tom?
All right, Donna, as the horses approach the starting gate, have there been any problems with the warm-up period from any of the horses?
Well, I will say that War Emblem, they kept him back away from the starting gate, and he was a little hot. He was back there raising a little bit of a fuss, but that's War Emblem. Easy from the get-go is sort of the same way, but Medaglia d'Oro, who, you know, all the fanfare about the long trip over here, he couldn't look any better.
And the cheer comes from the crowd as the horses load into the starting gate.
We do a single load here at Pimlico, and you'll notice the inside horse USS Tenoso. He might have a long time to stand there. There is a look at Crimson Hero, a horseman who's made only 2 starts this year for Nick Zito, but a lot of promise there. Harlan's Holiday, the beaten favorite in the Kentucky Derby.
13 loading into the gate for this mile and 3/16 American Classic. Second jewel in the Visa Triple Crown. The favorite continues to be the Derby winner, War Emblem, just being loaded into the gate right there. Number 8 in the green and white colors of the Thoroughbred Corporation. Table Limit goes in, and Booklet, number 10, will go in. Expected to contest that early pace with Pat Day. Menacing Dennis in 11 also has some early speed. And as they load in, let's go to Tom Durkin now for the call of the 127th Preakness Stakes.
Proud Citizen, the Derby runner-up, moves into line. And on the outside, in post position 13, is Equality. Ready for the start of the 127th Preakness. And they're off. And War Emblem comes away in between horses. Menacing Dennis. Menacing Dennis is sent to the early lead. Easy from the get-go as speed. And War Emblem is in between horses. Booklet alongside him as they move by us for the first time. And long shot Menacing Dennis will lead the Preakness field. War Emblem is tugging away, and he's very eager. Moving into second as they move into the clubhouse turn. Booklet is there. Third on the outside. Medaglia d'Oro up and on the pace. He's running in 4th position. And on the rail, it's USS Tenosa running in 5th. And then farther out on the far outside, Proud Citizen 3 wide or 4 wide around the first turn. He's 6th, and is easy from the get-go. And then War Emblem, Table Limit, was waiting near the back of the pack in the early stages. Harlan's Holiday, followed by Magic Wisner down toward the inside. Equality and Straight Chin, and well behind the rest is Crimson Hero as the field moves up the backstretch. Menacing Dennis still holds that narrow lead. War Emblem is right alongside him. A half and 40 seconds flat. The pace is wicked here, a full second faster than the Derby. It's Menacing Dennis clinging to a tenuous lead. War Emblem is right there, and Proud Citizen makes his move as the field moves into the far turn. Medaglia d'Oro right there in between horses. Then USS Tenosa toward the inside. Harlan's Holiday has come alive, and he's only 4 lengths off the lead with 3 furlongs to go. They're on the far turn at Pimlico, and the Derby winner has come away with the lead. It's War Emblem in front by 2. The Derby runner-up Proud Citizen is second as they turn for home. Harlan's Holiday on the far outside is winning in third. Menacing Dennis, fatigue is set upon him. Medaglia d'Oro's not going to get it done today. On the far outside, the hometown hopeful Magic Wisner is coming late in the final furlong, just as they were in the Derby. War Emblem and Proud Citizen is surging to him as they come down to the finish. Magic Wisner coming with a flying finish. Here comes War Emblem. War Emblem to win. He wins the Preakness, and it's on to the Belmont for a try at the Triple Crown. Local long shot. Magic Wisner was the surprise second, followed by Proud Citizen, and down toward the inside, easy from the get-go. And the final time here was 1 minute 56 and 1/5 seconds. War Emblem fought off all challengers today. It's on to Belmont.
It's on to Belmont with a chance to become the 12th Triple Crown winner. War Emblem takes the Preakness and is alive for the Triple Crown. War Emblem let Menacing Dennis set the early pace, but he was tugging on Victor Espinosa. It looked like he was saying, let's go, let's go. Espinosa finally did let him go, and then he was just able to hold off the long shot Magic Wisner. Let's go to Donna Brothers.
Okay. Victor Espinosa, nobody else could catch you, and I couldn't catch you either just now. Victor, you got your first Derby winner 2 weeks ago. Today you get your first Preakness winner.
Thank you, Donna. He really impressed me this time. The way he ran, and he's so angry still. The race, I kind of a little bit more tough to rate it this time, but he's all professional. You know, he's the best of the field, and he's always going to be the best.
Well, I noticed that he was just out trying to bite the Outriders pony. Evidently, it looks like he has something left in the tank still.
Yeah, definitely. He's still having more to go.
Victor, you were definitely pressed this time. I mean, there was no easy lead. There was no saying that you got everything your own way. Is this just a good horse?
That's a good horse, and obviously we get along good together, and God helped us to win this Preakness race.
Victor, congratulations. Go get your picture taken, buddy. Tom?
All right, Donna,
like
good
we're on our
horse
way
with
to
a
the
chance
Triple
to
Crown.
be great. That's right, if he can win the Triple Crown. Took a while for Donna to catch up to War Emblem, who, as we said, can be a bit of a handful. Donna actually is riding a horse called Cisco, who is the lead pony for War Emblem, stabled next to him to give him some familiar company while he is here at Pimlico. Congratulations for Bob Baffert, who was interacting with the crowd all the way down to the saddling area. And now the celebrations. Prince Salman, who paid $900,000 for 90% of the colt. Russell Reineman retaining 10%. Jill Moss, Bob Baffert's fiance. And Baffert has been regaling us with stories all week long. His parents, Bill and Ellie Baffert, are here from Nogales, Arizona. The first time that they have been to Pimlico. Bill, his dad, taught Bob the horse business. Bob went on to ride some quarter horses for his dad, became a trainer, but he was saying that his dad, Bill, and his buddies would sit around and tell Bob, rub on that horse, keep rubbing on him, and he'd say, am I done yet? Nope, keep rubbing, as he and his buddies talked. And he said that he is living, his dad, Bill, is living vicariously through Bob all these Triple Crown exploits. His dad's 79 years old, his mom 80 years old, but on hand today for this thrilling victory in the Preakness.
Bob Baffert calls War Emblem his stealth bomber. He says, there's the routine we do whenever Bob wins a classic. The McCathan brothers, his own brother Bill. But he calls him his stealth bomber. He says he's black and he's fast and he's dangerous, and he showed it today. He also said we'd find out what he's made of today. They're going to take the starch out of him, and we'll see just how good he is, and good he is indeed. He had enough left to eat that lead pony up alive, too.
3 times now Baffert has come to Pimlico with the Derby winner, and all 3 times he has gone away with a chance at the Triple Crown. He hasn't gotten there yet. He missed with Silver Charm and with Real Quiet at the Belmont Stakes. And he'll go to Belmont with a horse that was 20-1 in the Derby. No one picked him at all, and now he's got a chance for the Triple Crown. What a story. First favored Derby winner to win the Preakness since Ali Sheba in 1987, paying $766, $440. Magic Wisner, the Maryland-based, $33 and flying at the finish. And Proud Citizen, the Lucas trainee, holding third at $5. The Exacta, $327, and the Triple paid $2,311. And right now, Magic Wisner's jockey, Richard Migliore, is with Kenny Rice.
Tom, the horse flying at the end was, as you said, the only Maryland bred in this race. Magic Wisner, Richard Migliore. What did trainer, owner, breeder Nancy Alberts tell you when you got ready to go out there with this lone shot that is the local hero?
Well, she told me that he was game and he didn't know how, the meaning of the word quit, and he just kept fighting, and he was game. It was a shame that we ran out of racetrack. He was getting to him pretty quick.
Did you expect him to get to them that quick? They were putting in those quick paces. You saw the 1-2 in the Derby, still running 1-2. Did you think you would be able to get up there?
You know, my horse really put in a good run, and they were weakening a little bit late, and my horse really finished up strong. Can't say enough nice things about this little horse. He gave me all he had to give, and I'm really proud of his effort. I'm sorry we fell short.
Okay, it was a great race, though. Thanks, Richard Migliore. And Tom, the Magic Wisner, local boy, continues to do good here in Maryland.
And how did Richard Migliore get the mount on Magic Wisner in the Preakness? Well, he rode Smokum to beat him in the Tessio Stakes, and so then Nancy Alberts hired Migliore to ride here in the Preakness. Let's go to Bob Newmeyer.
Mike Smith on the 3rd place finish here in this race. Proud Citizen in deep stretch at the 16th pole. I thought you had a major shot to win this race.
Oh, we had a real big chance, Bob. I tell you, there was 2 things that happened to me that I think really cost me. First of all, was a break. I got away a step off to the side, so that cost me about a half a length there. Then going in the first turn, I was hoping Bookley would keep War Emblem down inside, and he wasn't able to, and so War Emblem pushed us out, and I wound up getting hung about 7 wider on this first turn, and it's very hard to make up after things like that happen to you.
Well, it was twice now you've come close to this horse, Mike. Can you get him in the Belmont?
I really do. I really believe I had a legitimate excuse today. If I didn't, I'd be the first one to tell you, Bob. As you know me, I'll tell you what I honestly believe. And today, I really think that I'd have had a big shot. I mean, I'd have been right there with him because I got to his hip, put me off, and me losing those 2 spots, like I told you, I did, just was too much to overcome.
All right, Mike Smith, the tough luck 3rd on Proud Citizen. Tom?
All right, Bob, that's the equine ambulance. We're told Straight Gin was injured during the running of the race and will be put in the ambulance to be taken from the track. Meanwhile, Victor Espinoza has gotten War Emblem in for the winner's circle picture. Prince Salman leading him. War Emblem. This is just really an unbelievable story. Everyone accused the Prince and Bob Baffert of buying their way into the Kentucky Derby. No one thought he had a chance in Louisville. And as I said, as we started the program today, the more you analyze that race, the less of a fluke it seemed. And certainly he validated it with his run in the Preakness again today. And now, as improbable as it seems, he has a shot to become the 12th Triple Crown winner. And it comes only a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks after the last living Triple Crown winner, Seattle Slew, passed away. The official order of finish: War Emblem, Magic Wisner, Proud Citizen, Harlan's Holiday, better than the Derby, Medaglia d'Oro, disappointment, finishing 8th. As you saw the complete order of finish there in the Preakness Stakes. Into the winner's circle. And the garland of faux black-eyed Susans. They're actually Viking daisies lacquered black in the center because the real black-eyed Susans don't bloom in Maryland until about June. So there it is, and Bob Baffert ecstatic as he added the Preakness to his Derby score. I believe the Prince matched Bob on that one. And here is what they were cheering. Under the right-hand whip from Victor Espinoza, it is War Emblem. He has Proud Citizen just to his outside, and Magic Wisner outside of him will be closing too. But as they get to the finish line, another stand in the stirrups for Victor Espinoza, and War Emblem is 2/3 of the way to the Triple Crown.
Imagine what you would do with an extra $100 a day. Well, if you sign for your purchases whenever you use your Visa check card, you could turn fantasy into reality. Because each time you sign, you'll be entered to win $100 a day for a whole year. Imagine that. The Visa check card. It's everywhere you want to be.
You cannot do it by yourself. You need to tap into the power of the club.
The new Chrysler Town & Country Touring Edition comes equipped with a rear seat DVD player and built-in cooler console. So now, going out isn't nearly as exciting as staying in.
What are you doing? Nothing.
Chrysler Town & Country, the ultimate minivan.
You need the power of the club.
Exclusively from Chrysler, our 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain pledge, because love is a commitment.
It was not my dream to retire here. To the place where a couple first met.
I'm good, thanks. Au revoir.
Married, and always planned to return. But I embraced that dream with unwavering attention, and it became my own. And that's what I do at Morgan Stanley, one client at a time.
I am one of the many people.
We used to think they're frequent, persistent heartburn.
It's just plain old heartburn.
But if you've treated your heartburn, changed your diet, and the pain still comes back 2 or more days a week, it could be from acid reflux disease.
And over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
Today, there's a purple pill called Nexium from the makers of Prilosec. For many people, 1 prescription Nexium a day means complete
24-hour.
day and night heartburn relief. And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can tell if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and a free trial offer for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with today's purple pill called Nexium.
Mike Breen in Sacramento. In a moment, we'll get you right back to the Preakness Stakes, where the winner was Kentucky Derby winner War Emblem. Here in Sacramento, coming up, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. It's the 2-time defending champion LA Lakers, so dominant in the past 2 postseasons. But this year, the Sacramento Kings had the best record in the NBA, and they have home court advantage. Can Chris Webber and the Kings dethrone the champs? We'll find out coming up with Game 1. Now let's go back to Tom Hammond.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. We're back at Pimlico. The MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1 under the command of Captain Steve Woods and Paul Hino, with help from co-pilot Snoopy. Look for the MetLife Blimps as they continue to cover sporting events throughout the year. Here's a report on Straight Gin, who is the injured horse. Nick Zito in the horse ambulance as they left the track. And the report from Dr. Bramlage is it is a bowed tendon. He walked into the ambulance, a bowed tendon. It is not life-threatening on Straight Gin. Well, War Emblem wins the Preakness. Let's take a look at him in our Nexium race replay. As War Emblem breaking from the 8th post position. And it was Menacing Dennis that really came shooting out of the gate from the 11th post position. This is one of the longest shots in the field, and it's Menacing Dennis at this point that takes a clear lead. Here they are as they break out of the gate. Remember, Proud Citizen Mike Smith said he had a little trouble, and he got sandwiched and bopped around just a little bit as Menacing Dennis, the 11 horse, comes shooting from that 11 post to take the lead. And there is War Emblem in the green and white. Booklet now joins him on the outside, both trailing Menacing Dennis. They're into the first turn. Menacing Dennis is on the inside. War Emblem is between Horses and Booklet just to his outside. Medalla d'Oro tucked in just behind them. And look at this point. Victor Espinoza is content to let Menacing Dennis take the lead. He's fortunate that he cleared so he could rate right off him. But at this point, look at the hold that Espinoza has. He's doing his best to keep War Emblem from taking the lead. He sneaks a peek behind him there. And as they continue down the backside, it looks like War Emblem can go to the front anytime Espinoza wants him to. He's just trying to wait as Menacing Dennis continues to show the way. Finally, Espinoza can't wait anymore, and he lets War Emblem do what he wants, and that is go right on to the front. Still trying to bide his time as much he can to save something for the stretch run. But at this point, War Emblem says it's time to go. Proud Citizen is in the blue and white, who moves up on the outside now and looks to be in perfect position at this point. In fact, is lapped on War Emblem, who goes right by Menacing Dennis, who is finished. And yet Espinoza still has not asked him. War Emblem has done all of this on his own. Espinoza sneaking a peek behind him, and Mike Smith has Proud Citizen in striking distance, but War Emblem is starting to put a little distance in him already. Now they reach the top of the stretch, and War Emblem sees the whip from Espinoza. Still hasn't hit him with it yet, just shows it to him. And there are a couple of taps just to keep War Emblem about his business. Proud Citizen is still there in striking distance, but War Emblem has him still held safe at this point, about a half length. This is as close as Proud Citizen will get. He begins to drop back. War Emblem drawing away, and then Magic Wisner, you see him in the red and white on the outside, just coming into the picture at the end. So War Emblem, Victor Espinoza was watching that replay just a moment ago live down in the winner's circle with Bob Baffert, as it looks like he could have taken the lead anytime he wanted. He did a good job of making him bide his time until it was time to go. Our cyber cappers at NBCSports.com correctly picked, as did Mike Battaglia, War Emblem, 22% of the vote going to the Derby winner, who adds the Preakness today.